Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Ittle Dew 2. So I looked up the solution to this puzzle and I would say I was about 80% there this time. The trick is we do use this section on the right. When through the process of looking up the solution, it did turn out that one of the puzzles could be solved by listening to the music and hearing the notes, if you were particularly not tone deaf. But I am particularly tone deaf. So the trick here is you don't want it to land on the spikes that I just died on. You want it to instead land kind of on these spikes down here to the right. And then the next hop will adjust everything. So the trick is to let it fire, do this, stand not there, that was wrong. Push this down here, push this here, fire, stand on the sand so it hits that, then stand here so you can push it this way. Now what we're going to do is we're going to push it so that it will now be here, which then leads up here, which then leads up putting it here if this is out of the way, which then will end up leaving it there. So this is just going to be a quick timer. You really don't have to move that fast, but you do want to make sure in your movement to have this out of the way fairly quickly in both places. So you're going to get on and then get off. So push it there, push that there, and then you have enough time, and now you just let it go. And for those wondering, that's the solution. If you had pushed this step, it would have kind of visually merged the two together and not accomplished anything. If you leave this room and come back into this room, this is there again, but it doesn't matter because you've got a copy in this room now and you won't get two copies. So now let's finally solve this puzzle. This little teleporter, by the way, kind of indicates that there's a silver thing looking in this diagonal direction, a copper statue. I don't know if that really is what it's supposed to mean, but it does kind of indicate that. If we hit that one, that won't do anything either. Actually, I don't think there is a solution that it matters in any real way. You can just do this. And apparently there was also a solution or puzzle. Oh, these guys are looking. There's a puzzle in this at the very beginning. There's a different solution to that first puzzle, the first room. That was slightly different. I don't know if it really is significantly. A lot of these puzzles, sure, have different solutions, but I would say that doesn't really mean anything because they are fairly all bad solutions. Yeah. Let's see. If I do this, for instance, what are the other solutions we can do? Okay. Does this one rotate if you hit it? No. Okay, so I probably just need to do something like that. What's the one I'm missing? Well, no, we do that. Yep. And then that solves everything in this room. Question, though. Why? Yeah. This is still not activated. And I guess we have to just activate things. We're going to just activate the remaining blocks by the looks of it. Okay. To activate that. Ooh, sup squares? Who are you? Usalig? I was having the weirdest dream when some big larva came out of nowhere and put us in here. Maybe it wanted to keep us for food or something. That sounds normal enough for a dream world. Anyway, this place is decent. It's got the spooks going on, but it's getting a bit stiff. I've heard that hanging out on one of those buttons outside is pretty cool. Hey, that does sound neat. Later, chumps. So there. Is there anything in this puzzle room that we missed? It doesn't seem like it, although it does kind of feel like there might have been 3 more rooms to the left to make a full skull pattern in one room all the way to the top right to complete it, but let's just go ahead and assume that that's not true. Here we have an evil easel. Rumor has it that the painter disappeared shortly after this piece was completed. Here we have Ginny Bun unemployed. Come over to our house for some free pizza. And here we have Libaldo seeks revenge on the adventurer who broke his cousin. Meanwhile, is there anything more to any of this? I don't think so. So I really don't want to ever do that puzzle again. And we now can open this. And how's this one open? With flame? Well, I may not be able to open this, which is probably a good thing, because that does open us to finally stop wasting so much time playing this optional new game plus stuff. Yeah, by the looks of it, unless there was a trick that we were supposed to do. Let's see. I've got all of my buttons in the wrong place. I didn't change the buttons, I'm just having trouble remembering which one did what. Yeah, I must have some kind of flame arrow ability or something that unlocks. Then I don't know if those floating platforms in the background mean anything. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else that would be playable or doable. I think the answer is no. So when I think about this, just look at all that we've done. There's probably something in a few of these areas that we can access, but it's probably not really worth our effort either. So let's just go to the final boss dungeon, which isn't going to be the real final boss dungeon by my guess. So in we go. It'll be really funny if this turns out to be super easy. It very well might be. And if that's the case, then there might be more stuff to be done. I have to remember that I have all those abilities that I'm missing. I mean, let's just look for a second. Yeah, there is like a 3rd level upgrade to this that I'm missing, and maybe there's even a 3rd level upgrade to the fire sword, and maybe even a 3rd level upgrade to the chains. And I think there's like 2 more of those, and there's at least 1 more of those. But I think we're fairly close to being done. And as far as card collectibles, we have, I think, almost everything, but not quite everything. And I don't really see a value in collecting the cards, because they're just cards. They're just in-game cards that don't have any real value. The West Wing, the Library of Keys. So I am going to need some new ability. Something stronger than that. Something more than what we can do. The Hall of Health to the boss room. The final item. The locked chamber. Well, we can open these two. So this is the final item. Pascal's journey. I never would have imagined an adventurer would find this island. That shoeless barbarian and her flying fox must be stopped. You've got the fire mace, smack things, and shoot 1 fireball per projectile. Ah. Well, yeah, that really changes the game, doesn't it? That changes a lot of things. Might as well just open every door. So how much of a struggle is it going to be to really fight against this guy? Who's, I guess, supposed to be a boss. Or a sub-boss. Interesting music. Here we have a clock looking upward. And here we have some symbols. And maybe these will mean something. Apparently every time you defeat a boss... What's a picture of him doing here? This is like the guy from the first game, I think. Every time you defeat a boss, there's a new picture that is like painted in the art display area, which is interesting. Patient key, reward for those who think things through. Eye carver. Okay. So the fire projectiles do seem to have this extra ability of shooting you. So when we hit ourselves with a fire projectile, let's just double check. put one here. Fire that. Those projectiles don't hurt you at all. Interesting. Feels like I should be able to reach that, and yet I don't have that capability. We still can't put two of these around. Still can't really do anything with that. That's oddly a specific solution. Okay. Well, I figured out half of it. The question now would be, can I get this to jump upward? Doesn't feel like there would be a lot of room. I can push it this way, but I think what they want me to do is have a diagonal shot, which again, the controls on this game are not designed in such a way that that would really make sense. Then they want me to go, let's see, this direction. And do I want to turn this to ice and slide it in that direction? Does that help me in any way? I think maybe. Okay. And then create our own. And let's go ahead and create our own right in this alcove so we can push it. Okay. So I messed it up a little bit by using the wrong attack, but that will work, I think. There we go. That was more complicated than most of the puzzles we've done up until this point. I also think that the roll is actually slower than the run in this game, and that might have affected some of the experiences that we've had, as we have been wasting ourselves. Fighter's key soaked in. We'll read it in a second. This guy is singing. See, soaked with ink confetti, it's the true warrior's prize. Oh yeah, I guess this is a game. All the enemies do drop confetti instead of blood, which, alright, fair enough. It doesn't really affect me much. See, hidden key, a true adventure leaves no single stone unturned. Eye carver. Reflective block designed by a carver, patent pending. Alright. That solves that problem. And then I think this is fairly easy to do. So now we have like 3 keys. I've seen other people who have played this game that they were sitting on like 4 or 5 skeleton keys. How narcissus? Never mind. I think she meant to say narcissistic. See what this is. Stored key, it looks plain but has endured since ancient times. Okay. Only one tool is needed. One, two, three. 1, 2, 3. Just a little bit of timing. This looks really, really old. So we're getting all kinds of keys and fairly quickly just beating the whole level and the whole dungeon. We don't need to fight that guy again, so we won't bother to. What's interesting here is I don't see a boss indicator. It feels like I should. And this feels like this is gonna be a nightmare. So let's roll and roll with it. As soon as that's out of the way, we'll get out of the way. Got another secret. 8 castle, 7 hourglass, 6 potato, 5 heart, 4 bowl, 3 spring, 2 ribbon, 1 block. So these are the designs of all of the levels and the worlds, I imagine. This looks familiar somehow. That's like the whole overworld map. Naughty obscenities. Note to self, I'm tired of these dungeons. I should build my own, filled with creatures found on this island, but improved. Don't know what that says. Where are we? Just in like a secret area. If there's any secret other thing in that section, we've missed it. I imagine there's little Easter egg things, and that's about it. You know, with the fire sword, you now are in this position where you really don't ever need to use the force sword, which is nice. And then it kind of just makes it questionable as to why the force sword even exists in the first place. Yeah. Let's go ahead and put one here and one here so that we unlock another door. Isn't this the that legendary warrior? Let's see. These guys are wrecking me. I should just hit him. Wow, those guys are pretty strong. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm hearing rain outside my door or if it's the game making the noise. Oh man, that was stupid of me. Should have hit that so I had a shortcut so I wouldn't have had to do that the second time. Right. if we are gonna struggle fighting these guys, this final battle might be pretty tough, but I wouldn't be surprised if it turns out that it's not hard at all, and this is it. This is the actual challenge. I wish I had a bird too. So, more suits of armor to break. And let's see what's over here. So much stuff that you can break, and none of it seems to matter. Delayed keys, some things are best saved for later. Pascal's journal. When I wander these rooms, something keeps coming over me. Is it admiration for his handiwork? So somebody else crafted this? That looks like a Omicron on the wall, a grimoire or something, some demonic book. Well, would there be a way for me to drop myself onto the platform? Yes. Is there a good way to drop myself on the platform? No. See, I'm fairly certain you are going to end up dead. But how do you get on the platform in the first place? Push that, and that just slides. That breaks. That can break too. There's not really even a diagonal angle which I could actually hit myself. If I put a cube this direction and then did something like this, and then did something like that, and then stood out of the way and stood back in the way, I don't think that works. So let's go ahead and assume that we can't get that at the moment. We're going to get some other ability. That's the last of our keys. Pascal's journey. The boss robot pilot seems excited to meet the oafish adventure duo. Me, I want my peace and quiet back. So this is just notes. Fishbuns Funnies Collection, volume 685. Fiction. The Life of Tiger Ginny, based on a true story. Non-fiction. Fan fiction. Okay. So if I push this up this way, and then this way, and then this way, it blows up. So the only place that this works is down this direction. And it doesn't work there either. 1, 2. Can't push it down the hole. Yeah, well, you can, but it doesn't accomplish anything. I could try really hard to get a double powered shot, but I don't think that's gonna happen. I don't think that's gonna happen at all. I could try to get a diagonal shot, and that works. Interesting. Let's see, what is this? XXX Nuruka, Goddess of the Red Savior of the Cosmos, Carrot Quest 4, Potato Shapes End, The Explosive Miner and the Bear Goddess, Safety Around Sharks, Adventure and Romance. Funny that he has such a larger collection of fan fiction than anything else. There's just no way to apparently defeat these rolling balls. Not that I care. Just let them hit you. That was a little too simplistic. Here's where I guess the robot was built. So, theoretically, we should not be able to open those doors, but we could. We could easily open them. Let me ask this question. If I put a bomb there, that doesn't do anything. Alright, well, off in this general direction. I am apparently breaking things on the other side of that wall. Or it looks like I'm breaking things on the other side of that wall, at least. Probably am not, actually. Let's go to the next room. Right. More to do and more to see. But we are kind of heavily... That's just not right. Pascal's journal, the door requires a special boss key, but I destroyed the key, barricaded the door, and now the brutes can never open it. Interesting. Although I imagine this is just going to teleport me to something else. Okay. So the way this is going to play is we're going to have to be fairly careful about getting hit, hitting something like that that's in the way, and then being careful to not get knocked off the edge again, or just wander off the edge, as it were. This feels like another place where it would have been beneficial to have a health regen made available to you right at the beginning of it. Let's see. You kind of have to book it because they will attack you. Or you could just have that creature give back twice as much health as it takes, always. That way if you fall in between it, it's not really a problem. Man, I just hate this. I can't imagine anybody really enjoys this. They're mediocre puzzles here. They would be fine, but then to wrap the gameplay of an adventure game around falling and taking damage so often, you're just like trying to attract two very different types of game players. Like, Dark Souls players would be the people that would be fine with falling to their death. Whereas puzzle game players, we want to take our time and be slow. And I definitely would put myself in the category of a puzzle game player instead of a Dark Souls player. Yeah, and a lot of this is me just straight up wasting life because I don't want to slow down. It feels like there should be a health region in this area, and yet there isn't. So when we die and then respawn, since it really doesn't matter, this is also a fairly decent argument as to why Nintendo is ever increasingly devaluing the punishment for dying, to the point where you take damage and you drop a coin and there's just like always more coins to be collected. There we go. I think that required a little bit of a roll. So if I get here, and then here, we got a box of crowns. That was all that was? Seriously, game? That's super frustrating. Just gonna walk off the edge. We still are missing like 1.5 hearts, so 6 hearts. How we missed it so many, I don't know. That does seem fairly crazy. Let's see. Up in this direction, there's some other secret that I think I missed. Yeah. That's just a teleporter. Castle, hourglass, potato heart, bowl. Do I think that there's something here? Is this a case where you're just actually out of luck? Like, you really have to use the skeleton keys in this setup? Maybe it is. Because my only other option would be to figure out how to put this where it needs to be, which it definitely doesn't need to be there. Let's see, 1 and then 2, and then if I was to push that, that really wouldn't do anything for me. Delayed key. Some things are best saved for later. If I was to try and make something in a corner and then hit myself, it wouldn't work. This only bumps me 1 square, right? Not 2 squares? Yeah, exactly 1 square. Okay. We can do what? Is it possible that I've missed this? No. No, it's not possible. That's not the solution. Is it possible that one of these stays powered on? And you can do this and you can roll to that, sure. And then I guess maybe you could get a bit of an angle going to push that direction, and then push that direction. Yeah, okay. So one key without having to use any of these spare keys, just because I wanted to waste time trying to figure it out. Then you just have to pick a direction. And here we've got another guy. And I imagine his attacks probably tell you something. I've beaten all of these losers. Where's my picture? Not these dorks again. There is something to be said about this fan art not really looking worse than the actual game art. And I feel like the game art itself should look worse. Because of that's where your effort should be. Apparently he's trying to put a brain into a carrot. This is crazy. And my fire sword now seems to break metal broken things by default. Interesting. The Hexroot elders achieved eternal life here upon deciding to turn their library into my adventurer's centerpiece. I hired them to defend it in exchange for gold. Eye carver. Okay. So I have to probably push this, if I was to guess, this direction. And then, if I was to guess, put a block here. And then push it that direction. And then push it that direction. And then do that. And we've got another key. Yeah, I've been having power outage issues and I can hear a storm going, so I wouldn't be surprised if maybe this video gets cut short, so apologies if that happens prematurely. Let's see, can't look at this. I know this one, it's the silly hat. Then here we have another globe that we can't run around. And now we've opened a door. And this looks like something that we could do something with, but apparently not. Let's see what's in here. We've got some secret. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. This is actually fairly easy to do. All I have to do is something along this line and then this line. Secret door. Find a fireplace next to a fireplace. Also, these secret doors are no longer optional secret doors in the game. They are definitely things you would have to find, it seems. Or at least they'd be very helpful to find. It's not too much more. Alright, let's clear this place out. So what I think I've decided is you put down a dynamite pretty much every time there is a dynamite that can be placed down, and at that level you might blow somebody up, but then you should also attack with the attack mechanic. Do I have an extra key yet? No. So we're still trying to just do this legitimately. Which I guess the best way to do that is here, and then through here, and then just run through this, and do that. I'm gonna have to be better at rolling away. That's one of them. Dad. Okay. Key collected. Doesn't seem like there's anything else. So then it seems to me like the way that plays out is we need to just go back this direction and use the key this way. And lots of things needed to be activated for lots of different reasons. Let's push that there. Well, interesting. Could I get the sliding cube to go anywhere else? Doesn't feel like I could. And honestly, if I can get a like diagonal shot on it, it probably wouldn't do anything. That's a fairly long one. That's a fairly long one. Yeah, they're all fairly long ones. So let's see, if I put one here and then hit that, and then hit that, yeah, I don't feel like that's gonna work. See, this is why I think running actually sometimes works better. Interesting little reflection on this. Alright, well. Yeah, that just falls on the ground. This just moves. That just slides. This one does seem deceptively complicated. See, if I got it here, I could get it up to that point. Sure. But that doesn't really change anything. Unless this constantly hit that, which I don't think it would. I mean, we can test it, certainly. Roll that way, and maybe not fall to our death this time. Yeah, it feels like the game is being dishonest with you and telling you to do things that you really shouldn't do, whereas this blue line in the past has been fairly straightforward. Right. Yeah, that doesn't do anything. So doing that's pointless. Doing that would be pointless. Yeah, here's another thing you wouldn't be able to accomplish, is you wouldn't be able to push this down and run ahead of it to the point where you are making a brick in the air, so as to use that as a way of reaching your goal and stopping it at a certain level, and that really wouldn't help anyways. I can push this down this way. That's about all I can do with it, though. At that point, I can't do anything, nor can I cross the gap if I was even going to try and get over to the lower right hand section of the map. So that's not the solution. At least it doesn't feel like the solution. Try something here. That, and then that, and then that. We could see if maybe a shot. No, because it just falls in the ledge. It doesn't slide over. One, and then I'm just gonna move this one brick at a time. Of course, the problem with that would be how would I do the next brick? Really couldn't. Can I even skip this if I wanted to? Doesn't seem like you can. Seems like you're doomed to have to figure out all these puzzles, even if you didn't like them, even if you felt like they kind of sucked. Sure, I could make... No, I couldn't do that either. I'll put one here. That's about it. And that just breaks it. If I had something bounce back at me, I could jump 2 spaces. Is there anywhere the 2 spaces helps? Hmm. Not really. I wish there was a way to kind of thaw out these bricks and just be able to slide them and push them around, but even in that case, that wouldn't help. Hmm. And what happens if we put down a thing, then freeze it, and then hit it with a fire sword? Nothing. They don't synergize at all. Although, come to think of it, freezing a dynamite probably solves a ton of the issues that I've run into in a lot of places where I've had to move fairly fast. Because yeah, if I can just do that and then make a mad dash to the other areas. But it's even that's an awkward delay to say the least. Probably would want to do something like that. It does give you a fairly large amount of time to figure something out, but the odds are low that you could synergize with all of that. Almost certainly you would have to do it on this one. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Actually, this might work. Okay. Gonna hit this one, and then I'm gonna run over here. Wasn't quite fast enough, I don't think. Kind of just run over this. Can we get 2 of these to attack? I think we can. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi, 6 Mississippi. I think the problem is the delay now is all of a sudden too high. One Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi. Is there another way that this would work? Actually, probably fairly easily. If I did, say, this, and then this, and then did this, and this, and just kind of had everything done fairly quickly. Freeze. Ready. And go. Maybe I instead put it this way. That way we can hit that one, and that one, and that one, and then that one. probably is the solution, and it is fairly obvious too that this is the problem with these solutions, is that they are not great by any means. They're pains. Almost had it. Let's see, that, and then that, and then go. So we solved that puzzle, but we didn't get the key in that room. And I'm not sure I know how to get the key in this room, honestly. There's something obviously missing, because you're just not going to get a diagonal hit. It's just not going to happen. So while I could stop it here, or I could stop it here, I can't really do anything else. I could slide it this direction, which that wouldn't help anything. Yeah, let's just ignore this key for the moment and move forward. That. There's got to be some trick I've not figured out. Obviously. Like, no duh, obviously there's some trick I've not figured out. Interesting. That might just be a case of I need to come in through a different door. So we may just have to run around. Can't say that I'm in love with these designs so far. And then, yeah, that's super easy. And then run that. Okay, I now know what to do with that. That's way over here. And then we make another one and we push it over here. Then we make sure we're standing to the left so we can break it. So we can do that. And that opens another door from a whole different area. Interesting. Can we get that to that different area? Yep, we can. Up in this way and teleport through that. And that's another shortcut. But if we're either gonna decide, are we gonna cheat or are we gonna try and get this key? If I made a cube here and pushed it there, does that do anything for me? No. If I could stop a cube here, well, what is that? How does that help any? I thought I had something, but I don't actually think I do. Is there any way to get this to go diagonally? I don't think so. Don't tell me there's a trick to get in the doorway. No, I don't think so. I don't think that would be it. Every bit of this seems to scream that this should be there. Okay. And then if we slide it that direction, what? What can you do at that point? Nothing. And you really wouldn't benefit any if there was... If there was... It was here, and it wouldn't benefit any if it was here. Really wouldn't benefit any if it was here. There's no way to push this cube downward. That just hits that and immediately falls off. There's no pushing the cube upward out of the door. That wouldn't help us any anyways. I do kind of wonder if I could push this diagonally. You can push it that far diagonally. Yeah, I think we give up. I think whatever the trick is here, it's beaten me. I have no idea. No clue at all. Let's just use the skeleton key. That's why we have them. We've done them before. Pascal's journal. This room contains the boss key. Before I destroyed it, I am ashamed to have tampered with an island puzzle. Brother, forgive me. Pascal's, not Pascal. I keep wanting to say Pascal. And over here's a secret room. And so once again we are not capable of actually opening the door, and instead we have to use the side areas. So this should be the boss. Or the lack of a boss, as I imagine actually it will be. There we go. We nearly died there. And we're in the shifting chamber, which might be an infinite staircase a la Mario 64. Save and reset and just make sure that there is no secrets, although very possibly there are secrets and we'd still miss them. Let's do this boss fight. I bet he's not much of a fighter at all. What? How did you get in here? I thought that I had sealed the entrance. Oh, I just punched a hole in the wall. Who needs doors anyways? So your idea of an adventure then? Running amok on an island and causing general destruction? On top of that, you just had to go and solve all those puzzles and defeat every single one of my employees. Oh, it was nothing. I've wrecked tougher dungeons before, not to mention prettier faces. What are you doing here anyways? Barbarians, I already told you that I'm the island caretaker, but now it's time to take care of you. I don't think so, Pops. You don't look so spry for a final boss. Yeah, you don't even have a robot suit or anything. In fact, you're just a grump who won't let people have an adventure around here, but the island is clearly built for it. Why is that? None of your business, child. Now prepare to meet your doom. Okay. Alright, I see what we've got to do. So, yeah, I think I kind of see what I'm supposed to do now. Let's just return that and there. This is oddly video game relevant. So often you run into bosses that kind of have nothing to do with what you're actually doing and or what you've done up until that point. And this has worked fairly nicely against that idea. And of course you would have the flame sword at this point. And suppose I can't hate the idea of being reminded of the parts of the game I somewhat have done before. I'm not sure I'm gonna go as far as to say I enjoyed them, but I've done them. Although it is still fairly weird that we've not found all the health. Like that feels like that would have been something that we should have done or seen. Yeah, I really didn't need to freeze the thing in that case. And these puzzles aren't particularly the most difficult ones by any means, so let's go ahead and just stick dynamite here and stick a thing on that one, and then we'll stick another piece of dynamite here and do that. And here we have harmless people that won't attack us, and then a couple of harmful people that will attack us. It is a waste to have a character that literally won't attack you. And this is a nice way of just showing that the enemies you've mostly fought in this game are now mostly worthless as far as their challenge. They're going out in 2 or 3 hits when it was taking quite a lot more before. Those guys probably still suck. And if we go through the whole line here, we'll probably will still find somebody that is a pain. Yeah, these do seem like these are going to get stronger and stronger. I kind of have to wonder though if it wouldn't have been smarter to just have the final bosses and all the boss fights in this game simply be final boss battles, boss puzzles, as it were, not interesting. Because you are mostly just doing puzzles otherwise. Yeah, even that guy's not really a challenge. Of course, now we've got a bit of a challenge, but I don't think he'll really offer up much contest. Because you are refilling your health every time he's now halfway through, and he's doing the laugh thing. Like, you were refilling your health before each boss battle, so the only thing I find annoying is if they didn't actually bother to checkpoint you, he's dead. We also have missed a couple of outfits. Let's go ahead and break his room. And so this guy seems like he's the brother of the guy we fought in the first, or met in the first game. So we got the raft piece. It would be funny if this went to credits and we couldn't play the game anymore, and I would just have to go, well, okay, whatever. Oof, my back. Okay, that was really pathetic. Thanks for the raft piece, I guess. Fine, take it. At least this is the last I'll have to see of any meddling adventures. Hold still. Hold it. I still want my explanation, Gramps. What's the deal with you and this island? I mean, why all these dungeons and items if they're not meant to explore and use them? So I suppose I'll tell you. Long ago, my brother crafted an adventure on this island, purposely repurposing old caves and castles into puzzle-filled dungeons. When he left, I was put in charge of resetting the puzzles, rebuilding the boss battles, and putting the items back in chests each time an adventure completed the island. But soon enough, I got sick of it. Why? Eventually, I had to reset everything 50 times a day. Hold on. One of your robot pilots said that we were the first adventurers to ever come here. And who could have completed the dungeons that many times? It doesn't matter now. It's a problem long buried. Right, speaking of things you seem to be hiding, I smell another piece of treasure on you. Fork it over. What? I don't know what you're talking about. What's that, Fire Mace? You want to have some more words with the nice man? Wait, I'll give it to you. Wow, you've gotten pretty good at this. Thanks. I have a third nose for smelling treasure. I meant the part where you threaten stuff out of people, but okay. Take it, you thieves, but don't dare use it. So we've got another forbidden key, which means you couldn't have gotten all the forbidden keys. And they've pretty much just forgotten about the fact that I didn't get the regular key. Okay, we're ready to leave the island. Let's make our way to the pond where we landed and magically transform these raft pieces into an actual raft. Here, I'll mark the location on your map. Not even you could miss this one. Wait. What? I wasn't listening. I was thinking of all the potions I stole from Pascal and drank while you weren't looking. Not falling for it, Barefoot. You keep that up and I'll keep the raft for myself. Gulp, gulp, gulp. Okay, well, as it is, there clearly are some more things to be done. There's at least another hour of gameplay, and honestly, it probably is closer to another 2 or 3 hours of gameplay, because we've got that whole side dungeon that I guess I can now open and do, and then we'll probably keep that for the last. It still feels like we would get an increased version of the ice ring, since we got 3 increases on our attack otherwise, but I don't know if we're going to get an increase on anything else. We still may be missing 2 secret shards. We are definitely missing 1 more forbidden key. And who's to know? Let's see, we've got 3 of those forbidden keys, huh? Whatever, I voted for Fluffy Fields and build ourselves a raft. So, yeah, he just wants us to leave. But clearly there is a whole other section. Yeah. So, we've got more gameplay. Now, I suppose it would have been a case where we could have instead rushed through the main game and then spent 4 or 5 hours running around hitting dungeon after dungeon after dungeon, just getting mostly nothing. Maybe a few more hard upgrades. Clearly we're missing some of those. But I think probably 2.5 hours into playing the game after finishing the main story, I don't know if I'd really be motivated to continue playing, particularly if I'm just doing overworld cleanup. And honestly, I think there's a decent chance that there is quite a lot of overworld cleanup still around. Now that we have all the abilities, we could theoretically do it all, or at least I think we have all the abilities. But it will be questionable how much more time I want to put it into this. And I will say my thumb is blistering again. The controls and the kind of constant forward pressing in directions to solve some of these puzzles is wearing out my thumb. So the controls are still an issue. The lack of story is still an issue. The puzzles being sometimes a little too hard and unbalanced is still an issue. And yeah, the overall lack of characterization and story is a major issue. Anyways, that's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend or follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below in the description box. And if you want to support me further, there's a link to Patreon, or you can friend me on Steam and gift me a game off my wishlist. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.